I am at Project N1. I am going to get a quick workout, but before, or actually during, I actually want to talk about a few things. Martial arts, strength training, and firearms training, the importance, right? And ladies, no amount of jiu-jitsu or cardio kickboxing classes is going to help you to a certain point, right? And this comes from a good place, comes from my heart, because I have 2 daughters and a wife. And I have them in jiu-jitsu, and they do strength conditioning. But the great equalizer is firearms, right? And then hopefully you never have to use it. But I would say this all the time in the women's courses and privates to the ladies, but to be honest, it applies to men too. The other day, it was my buddy's birthday, and a bunch of Rangers got together. And one of my Ranger buddies who's not in town was like, hey, whoever can submit Vince, I'll give him $100. And I've competed on the mats. I'm a blue belt. Competed in the ring. You know, I'm not some slob. I kind of know what I'm doing. But I couldn't submit Vince, right? My Ranger buddy, he's 267 pounds. He has been training jiu-jitsu. He is a lean 267 pounds. The dude's got freaking like an 8-pack. And martial arts, even to us, at a certain point, is not going to help you. And same with strength training. So we have to train with firearms. And the reality is so many of us in this country, men, have firearms, but we don't train. And when we do go train, we think we're training, but to be honest, that's not training. Getting a couple of bowling pins or like pumpkins and just shooting rounds, or even if you have cardboard and steel targets and you're just like shooting rounds with no actual intent and you're training, you're kind of just wasting the rounds and you're kind of wasting the time. There is a time to like mess around, you got buddies or family members and you kind of just not have a class or be it like an instructional day, that's fine. But most of us don't train. And we have to be honest with ourselves, you know, because I've been to enough ranges where at the end of the day or during the conversation, I mean, during the training, we're talking about, you know, where we are and how we see ourselves in the place of society. And we think we're warriors, we're the top. But we don't train enough. And to be honest, most of us as a country, we're out of shape. When I was going to school to be a registered dietitian, it was about 50% about adults were either overweight or obese. I last looked at it when I was going to school, it was 4 or 5 years ago. Now we're almost up to 70%, which means even if we do train firearms, we're probably not training strength and conditioning and what type of workouts. Like, I'm doing this right now. I just got done training Muay Thai in the morning, and I'm kind of just doing a little something. Most of my workouts are not like bro lift workouts or like, you know, kind of these like movements. Every now and then I like to do it, but most of my workouts, if you look at my page, my strength and conditioning coach trains a lot of UFC fighters, Glory fighters, Bellator, jiu-jitsu athletes, law enforcement. So there's certain movements that he knows we want to do and be explosive and strong. So that's what we're doing, right? A lot of mobility work, flexibility, conditioning. So we got to do that. We got to train. But same goes with martial artists, right? In my other video, I said martial artists were some of the best students on the range, and they are. But some martial artists and like UFC fighters and black belts are easy to pick on because just how it's easy to pick on special operation guys, former special operation guys, or even current, because they're special operation guys. It's easy to pick on pro fighters, pro boxers, pro MMA fighters, because you're here in that world and you should know better. I was talking to this black belt and he's like, oh yeah, you know what, I shoot too a lot. And I'm like, oh hell yeah. My first instinct was, oh, I now have a potential new shooting buddy. So I asked him, hey, how often do you train and where do you go shoot? And he goes, oh, I shoot a lot. I go shoot twice a month. And I remember thinking like, bro, you're a black belt. Like, can you imagine if we were at a barbecue and I'm like, yeah, dude, I train jiu-jitsu a lot too. And then you're like, oh, cool, where and when? And I'm like, oh, twice a month. You would internally or actually laugh at me, but like, bro, you don't train. Twice a month isn't training. If you think you're gonna win a competition, if you think you're gonna be prepared on the streets with your twice a month class, you're out of your mind. So no world title, no black belt is gonna help you and save you. If push comes to shove, if someone doesn't want to obey the laws or things go kind of like crazy, because a competent, not even a special operations guy, a competent guy with firearms is gonna take whatever he wants, and you're just gonna have to stand there. And if you're not gonna stand there, and the person with the firearm is about that life, then you're probably not gonna be alive much longer after that. Because if you try to do something, because you don't have the skills, right? But most of us follow this, like the laws and like, what is it called? The social contract? Is that what that's called? Where everyone just kind of agrees to obey the laws and stuff like that. So you're not really safe and you're not really prepared. Nothing has happened to you because nobody wants to go to jail. But sooner or later, there's some people that aren't going to care about that. Ask some neighborhoods in Chicago and SoCal, Texas. Some people don't care. And if you are not prepared, and if you have firearms and you don't train, it's even worse, I think, to be honest. And I know a lot of like law enforcement, military guys, veterans, special operations guys are like, yeah, tell them. But the reality is you're more likely to be in a physical altercation in this country than you are in a gunfight. And a lot of guys, and I've seen it, like SEAL Team 6 or former SEAL Team 6 guys go on the mats, they get their ass kicked, and they never come back. They never come back because they are used to being top dog. They are used to, whether delusional or you don't know what you don't know, felt like, you know what, man, I am the top of the top. I am the tip of the spear. Nobody can fuck with me. And then they get manhandled on the mats. And I've seen it. I've seen it enough time. I'm 5'6" on a good day, 165 pounds. Even if I don't win, but I give them a tough time, they all have that same look on their face. That surprised, I can't believe this little dude fucked me up, or I couldn't submit him, or God damn it, he's fucking like a wild fucking animal. I've seen it. I've been told plenty of times. We have to train martial arts. Like, again, I've been to enough barbecues, right? I'm a martial artist and a gunfighter and a warrior. That martial artists think they're the top dog. Dudes who have firearms feel like they're the top dog, but the reality is you gotta do both, right? But I know it's tough. Like, I know I'm never gonna beat the guy who only does jiu-jitsu and goes to the competitions at my gym and wins. I know I'm not gonna beat him or ever be better than him, but maybe I'm delusional, but I feel like I'm gonna beat him and I feel like I can be better than him. But I'm spreading my time in jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, firearms training. You have what? You have pistol training, and just alone on pistol, you have pistol, like basic 25-meter bay training. You have CQC with the pistol. You have vehicle with the pistol. You have like what I like to call like long distance, where sometimes I go on the range, and like no target is closer than 20 meters because a pistol can go farther than 20 meters. And then you have all that in the nighttime. Night pistol, night CQC, night vehicle training, and a lot of people haven't even done that. Then you got a rifle, shotgun, and all this stuff. So I get it. It's a lot to train, but I feel like as a community we got to improve. Like if we're supposed to be walking around feeling like we are the warriors of this country, of this or whatever country you're at, but you don't you do firearms training, but you do martial arts, like, you're just lying to yourself. And then if you're a world title holder and you think you're the baddest motherfucker ever, if shit gets bad, some dude who you would just consider some chump has a firearm, he's gonna take whatever he wants, right? So you can either ignore me or realize, you know what? Yeah. And then even if you do both, you gotta train. Strength training, you gotta run, you gotta do everything. And I know a lot of people quit when they realize, oh my God, this never ends. So you're telling me I have to do this forever? I have to balance my strength training, my running, conditioning, my firearms training, my martial arts training. I got a wife, kids, work, whatever. But like, I feel like that's the beauty of it, right? That's what makes it great. And then hopefully you have friends and you can do it with your kids and your wife. Because if not, then really what are we doing? Then you can just be delusional or not even think about it and just rely your safety and your health on the system. And we've all seen how unreliable the system can be, right? I'm tired. Muay Thai this morning kicked my ass, but I figured I'd get a little workout in, chop it up a little bit. Hopefully I see you on the mats, the range, or the gym.